Are the buffets on all Royal Caribbean ships now self-serve? Beginning any sailing, Lisa, that left on April 2nd is yes. If they left on Friday, the answer is no. But as of April, any sailing that left April 2nd or beyond, yes. What are your thoughts on that? Wishing Royal Caribbean continue to service ourselves. I mean, listen, Lisa, I'm with you. I would prefer them to continue serving us, but pre-COVID, I never really thought much of it. I still went to the Windjammer and I had a fine time, and it's practice, proper health protocols. I like the crew serving, but it's not the to me, it's not a big deal. It's just more of a personal preference kind of thing out there. But that's what we did before COVID. It's coming back. I am sure there's a crew component to that, whereby allowing the guests to serve themselves, the crew are freed up to do some other things, which is good for them, I imagine. So, I was kind of hoping that it would have stayed, but I understand where they're coming from with it. But again, we all served ourselves there. And when it comes to, if you're worried about getting sick from the buffet, here's some basics. Wash your hands when you walk in there. When you serve yourself, some people are saying, I'm going to bring gloves. I think that's ridiculous. No offense to anybody, but I think you're wasting your time. I think what you want to do instead is serve yourself the food with the tongs or the serving spoons. When you get to your seat, have a little portable hand sanitizer. Sanitize your hands again before you eat, and then you're good to go. That's what I would do. I'm thinking of booking a cruise for my birthday in November out of Florida. Only thing that scares me is hurricane season. Do you know how Royal Caribbean handles bad weather while at sea? Yeah, they don't go near them. It's a good question. Thank you for the super chat. So hurricane season sounds scary, but when there's a storm, Tanya, the ships go elsewhere. They basically just completely avoid the storm altogether. If there's a storm in the Eastern Caribbean, they'll reroute them to the Western Caribbean. One of the smartest people out that Royal Caribbean has is their chief meteorologist, James Van Fleet. And Mr. Van Fleet has been working with Royal Caribbean for a number of years now. I don't remember if it's 3, 4, or 5. It's been a while. And his job is to monitor the weather for Royal Caribbean. I'm not aware of any other cruise line that has someone like him. And he will monitor storms, provide the latest information, and be with the key holder personnel at Royal Caribbean to say, okay, let's move this ship here. Let's delay that. Let's move that there. In James Van Fleet, I trust is kind of this running joke I have, but it's actually the truth. When it comes to storms, you're not going anywhere near them. They're going to keep you, the crew, and the ships safe. That's the bottom line. So, I wouldn't worry about it. I go cruising all the time during hurricane season, and it's just because it's hurricane season doesn't mean there's going to be a storm. And more importantly, you're not going near any storms that would be there. So not to worry about that. Since cruise confidence ended, what happens if we get COVID right before your cruise? Not to worry. There's a different policy that protects you in that situation. If you or anybody in your party gets COVID within 14 days of your cruise, full refund, the works there, Michelle. So that's a different policy to worry about. Any tips for checking in with vaccinated children? Just bring all your paperwork. That's it. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same as everybody else. But there's really, whether you're a child or an adult, the process is pretty similar. They do make you go in a different line, which doesn't make any sense. Like, I think they just got to double and triple check your kids are actually vaccinated, but it's pretty easy. So I don't know. There's no extra tips I would provide there. Is it true if you get internet if you're in a grand suite? Thank you for all that you do. You're very welcome. It's true if you're on an Oasis or Quantum class ship. The complimentary internet is part of the Royal Suite class benefits for Sky class guests, which Grand Suite is. So if you're not on an Oasis or Quantum class ship, then the answer is no. St. Thomas gets excursion recommendations. If you've never been to St. Thomas before, I'd recommend Megan's Bay. If you have been before, take any excursion that gets you to St. John. It's absolutely beautiful and amazing. That'd be my 2 recommendations there. For Megan's Bay, you can do it on your own if you'd like. So you just take a cab. For St. John, I would go through Royal Caribbean. It's a bit of a rigmarole to get over to the ferry. It's just a lot of work. I would recommend instead doing an excursion through Royal Caribbean to St. John. It's the most beautiful beach I've ever been to in my life, Brandy. St. Kitts, it's another beach day. I've done a couple different tours. We were just there, Brandy, in when were we there? Over Thanksgiving, and we did a nice bus tour around, saw the sights, and it was nice. But I think you could do that. There's a great train tour as well. But if you're looking for something other than the beach, if you're saying, man, I'm doing like beaches every other port, let's do something different, then do a train tour of the countryside. There's also some bus tours you can book. Otherwise, it's probably a beach would be. I don't have a specific beach to recommend, but I'm sure there are a number through Royal Caribbean that you can reserve as well. With the success of the Mason Jar, can you see Royal Caribbean adding to existing ships? Possibly. Whenever Royal Caribbean decides to redo the amplifications and the upgrade process, I absolutely think they're onto something there with the Mason Jar. They were on something there already with portside barbecue, and a couple other concepts. So the short answer is yes, I do believe that there's reason to believe that. Well, can you explain the different internet packages? Sure. So there's two packages, the Voom Surf and the Voom Surf and Stream. The Surf is artificially throttled down. It's slower. So you can't do things like watch video or do other things that require video, basically. It's good for basic internet browsing, email, Facebook, minus the videos, of course. Instant, messaging, things like that, right? Surf and Stream is a faster product and allows you to do all those things, the internet permitting, of course. Nicole, here's what I would tell you. Regardless of what you want to do, Surf and Stream is the best option for you. It's just a better experience. Even if you don't intend to watch Netflix or watch my videos on the cruise ship. I know that's crazy talk. Who wouldn't want to watch my videos on their cruise? But anyway, it's just a better experience because it's just overall better internet, faster internet. So we make reservations for the main dining room when we board the ship. How does the main dining room work if we don't pre-select a time? I'm on Jewel of the Seas. So I suspect that you have my time dining, not traditional. Because if you have a traditional dining, a 5:30 time or an 8 o'clock time, your dining is set. No, you're all set. For my time, you can make a reservation now via the website. You could go make the reservation once on board. You could just show up and wait for a table. Those are all options for you. But to answer your question as directly as possible, yes, you can make reservations once you get on board the ship. What is there for kids to do in Freeport? I got to be honest with you, AJ. Freeport leaves a lot to be desired. My only recommendation to you is I went there and it wasn't bad. It was get a day pass to the the name of that resort, the Grand Lucaya, Lucaya. Just Google the resort and call them. You can get a day pass there. Basically, that'll get you access to the facilities like the pool and the beach. Food, believe, still costs extra, but I think it did. Or was it all inclusive? I don't remember. But I went there in June. It was the best of a lot of bad choices, if you ask me. There wasn't. Unfortunately, Freeport is not quite. It's a little lacking. It's a little lacking there. But did you have any thoughts on the Taste of Royal lunch on Adventure? I've not done a Taste of Royal on Adventure. I did it on Odyssey of the Seas. If you're not a picky eater, it's great. The menu is a set menu. So you can't be like, you know what? I don't really want that shrimp. I want to have this. Yeah, that doesn't really fly. But if you're okay with the menu, it's a great way to sample the very best of a number of different restaurants. So if you're not a picky eater, I think it's a great idea. Going on a Star Class on Oasis, what isn't included? Souvenirs, any money you spend in the casino. The tip for your genie, that's a big one. Make sure you tip your genie appropriately. How much is appropriately, Matt? There's all sorts of numbers out there. If you go to our message boards, Andrew, at royalcaribbeanblog.com, there's a number of suggestions for ideas. I don't think there's a right or wrong, but anyway, cash for that. Obviously, cash to tip porters will be something else that'd be in addition to that. It's really, if you actually bought food at Starbucks, that's not included, but the drinks at Starbucks are included. I know that seems weird, but that's the case. Excursions, obviously. And, that's basically it. But dining, drinks, that's all included there. So you're good to go right there. How does Cruise Confidence work if we have to cancel not due to COVID? So Cruise with Confidence doesn't work because the Cruise with Confidence ended September 5 trip. So it only applied to cruises through the end of September to begin with. So even if, basically what I'm trying to tell you is it doesn't apply to your sailing and didn't apply to your sailing. So if you need to cancel not due to COVID, you're subject to the old cancellation policy. After final payment date, you start getting penalized a certain percentage, like 25, 50, 75% of the cruise fare penalty for canceling at the last minute. So basically, when you get the final payment date, you've got to make a decision on that. Now, you could get travel insurance, and maybe that covers if it's a covered reason, right? Like, if you had to cancel because you lost your job, somebody got sick, your airport is closed and there's no flights coming out, you can't make the cruise. Travel insurance covers that, right? I mean, you're still missing the cruise, but travel insurance compensates you for that. There's also cancel for any reason travel insurance, which is travel insurance that you purchase that you can cancel for any reason, although it usually only covers like 75% of the cruise fare. But there are some options that are out there. So, but yeah, we're back to the old ways, basically, of canceling, essentially. If the new Royal Caribbean terminal will be built is still on track to open this fall? Yes. It's going to be opening. The first cruise should be Allure in November. So it's supposed to open, I think, technically it opens, it's finished the end of October and ready for a cruise in November. So yes, absolutely. What ship should I go on? I mean, there's so many great choices out there. It really depends. What are you looking for? What's your budget? timing. I mean, you're kind of asking like, which car should I buy? Which, obviously we say, well, do you need a pickup truck? Are you looking for a sedan? Do you want a blue one? Do you want a Mercedes? You want like, there's so many different options. The same is kind of true of cruises. So I need a little more information to go on. In general, when someone who's brand new to Royal Caribbean says, Matt, what should I pick? I say 7-night cruise on an Oasis or Quantum class ship is a really good starting point. It offers you the very best of what Royal Caribbean has to offer. It offers you enough time on board. 3 and 4 nights are just too quick of a cruise. I think a 7-night is the right blend of port days and sea days. So for those reasons, yeah. When will the Mediterranean cruise protocols be released? And the answer is soon. We've already gotten some out. I know the ones for Amsterdam, the transatlantics, and I believe there was another port that was released over the weekend. Anyway, they're coming out soon, Marion. Royal Caribbean's going to make sure that they always take their time, but figure about another couple weeks, because fairly soon, next month will be May, and those will be the first sailings out there. So I figure in the next couple weeks, Marion, you'll have that answer for you. Going on Allure in December, did they ever do any of the planned upgrades and renovations from 2020 or completely abandon them? They've been postponed, is what Royal Caribbean will tell you, Tim. So they didn't do them, but they claim they will be doing them at some point. They have not said when, but those plans are still alive, Tim. So the answer is no, they haven't been made, but they're not dead in the water necessarily. I think Royal Caribbean intends to do so, especially once they get back into a better financial situation. Everyone have a great week coming up here. Check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Lots happening this week. Lots over there for you to catch up on. And we'll be back again. Well, we'll be live for sure next Monday, but I might have another live broadcast from you from the Oasis of the Seas this weekend. So keep an eye out for that one. Until then, have a wonderful week, everybody. Stay safe out there. Do something fun. That's important as well. We'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Good night, everybody. And good morning to our Australian friends.